Okay, I have a ambush tactic here. I've been holding off on doing this video for a long time, mainly because, we've hit the ambush thing time and time again with different variations. And I don't think I covered this in the past, so I'll do its own separate video on this now. Something that I kind of referred to as a teabag ambush. Now, the first little example I'm going to show you here is how you could use this in an urban setting. We got our buildings. We know that this is the road the enemy is going to be patrolling on. This is not going to be a 4-lane highway or something like that. This would be like a road through your downtown area. Potentially residential, but really residential. Things are still kind of opened up. You want things as close as possible, the buildings as close as possible to the roadway, so business districts would work the best for this. And also you would have to think about the construction of the buildings also as much as possible. You would want brick and concrete buildings because that adds an additional barrier for them from trying to escape. Now, the initiation for the ambush will be down here. But before the enemy shows up, we have to prep the area. So one thing we do, we make sure we got vehicles that are kind of congesting the streets off to the side. Maybe even just a few here inside the road. Try to keep them together, keep them going the direction we want, keep them from spreading out. We got here, let's say we got a delivery van. He pulls up. So it looks like he's offloading into somewhere in this business. A little bit farther down the road here, so it looks like it's still open, we'll have another vehicle. It's parked back from the truck so that, hopefully it won't give too obvious that we blocked this off. But we made sure there isn't enough space in here that they can turn down this easily and come through. The other side over here, we have vehicles on either side parked, and then we could set it up where we have a vehicle back here waiting, something a little bit bigger. Let's say a bigger size SUV, something like your Suburbans or something like that, full-size pickup truck, something like that. When the ambush is getting ready to happen, they're supposed to be ready here. They start pulling forward, and then when the enemy gets into position, we get our little accident over here to initiate. He comes in, he swings to the side, and he blocks off the road right back here. And then obviously, person inside this vehicle would dismount with their weapon to the front of the vehicle, shooting over the top. Have some people hidden behind these vehicles, some people hidden behind vehicles over here, in order to make sure that they're not going to go around and try to get out this way. Something you could do is think about some type of truck to have back here, even a semi. That would probably be your best. Semi sitting behind the vehicles. It's out of vision. As soon as the accident happens, he hears it. The driver in here, he pulls forward, he blocks off that street, he gets out. He either runs off, or if he's part of the guerrilla element, he jumps in the ambush. But on the initiation, enemy comes down. Someone down here lets a driver know here who's got a full-size vehicle. You want one that's going to have sufficient mass to stop this. You're not going to try stopping a Bradley with a little Geo Metro or something like that. Or a little Chevy Cavalier. You want something that's got mass. You want full-size pickup truck. You want full-size SUV, delivery truck. Something where you hit that front vehicle, it's going to stop it. Because you're creating our roadblock. So he comes up here. He's ready to already know how long it takes to get from this position into the side of the vehicle. He starts getting up here. He gets up to say, about here. That's when he stomps on the gas. When the vehicle's here, he comes up, he nails it, T-bones him. So, T-bag ambush. So he T-bones him here. We got our roadblock here. They get stopped back here. They're wondering what the hell's going on. Did we just have an accident? Vehicle comes here, he gets into position, he moves into position. Everyone on top of the buildings, second floors, first floors, roofs, you open up and start taking them out. Remember, the first thing you do, take out the gunners. Stop vehicle and back, take them out with some type of IED, or preferably some type of shoulder-held, shoulder-fired light anti-tank weapon. Block off back here. Get them caught inside the kill zone. Try to get them to dismount from those vehicles. They get out of those vehicles, it's easier for your people to pick them off. Take out the gunner, and every time a new person gets up on the gun position, take them out. Let's say number 2 vehicle here, he decides to try going around. Well, he starts coming through. Have a couple anti-tank weapons up here, RPGs, laws, whatever. Soon they're prepped and ready to go. So whichever side has an opening, he covers for an opening on this side, he covers for an opening on this side, or cross it over, whichever you so choose. Depends on your lines of sight, whatever works best. This vehicle comes up, tries to go around because he's going to try getting that through there. Well, you stop him up there too. You add to that roadblock. Keep these guys blocked in here. If you're doing this in a residential, one of the things they're going to do, they're just going to say, screw it. They're going to go up on the curb. They're going to go down that sidewalk, go through people's yards, whatever they need to get out of the kill zone. That's why this works best in nice, tight terrain inside business areas where there's tall buildings. Everything's really compact. And you start taking care of those vehicles. No one wants to get out of the vehicle? Start tossing Molotovs into the gun position. Toss them down onto the body that's slumped over that 50 cal, slumped over that PKM, whatever it happens to be on top of the vehicle. Toss the Molotovs in there, try to get it down inside the vehicle, set it on fire. They'll definitely get out then. This is an annihilation ambush. You're trying to completely take them out. Now, the version that I have done when I've done Op 4 duty is this down here. We did it primarily in woods. Your training areas at the back of your bases. One of the spots we found that worked the best was on an S-curve, going up into some hills. Hills weren't very tall, but we found a spot in there. We had this S-curve, and then right off the side of this S-curve was a little goat trail that went up to the top of the hill to where, you know, whatever training would go on back there. Either putting in a retrans tower, training for air defense, who the hell knows. But what we did, we had ourselves a full-size vehicle. Someone actually brought in their pickup truck. We had it hidden back here so that you couldn't see it when you're coming up the road. On the top of the hill here, or at least the military edge where we could see down it, we had everyone waiting, hiding inside the tall grass, behind the trees, because there was trees on both sides. This side over here, it was actually a drop-off. So they had cut into the side of the hill to get this tank trail to go through, and it wasn't very wide. Over here, it was also raised and that stuff, but you take into consideration, you're going to be shooting over sometimes, so you're probably not going to put too many people up over there. But we did put a few up here, so we had kind of our L-shaped ambush. They would take care of people that are on this side of the vehicles. Everyone around here, we're taking care of this side. Someone hidden on the other side here, taking care of also, you know, backup, anti-tank weapon, whatever was available, whatever we needed. Here, going down on this roadway here, you could post someone with a scoped rifle, or better, post someone there with some type of belt fed, along the lines of an M60, 240, PKM, MG3, a 30 caliber type weapon. Or if you get a hold of a Russian cord, a man portable 12.7 millimeter, that would work real great. And then also have someone over here with a scoped rifle. They're watching these guys down in here, trying to keep them from pushing through. They're more than likely what's going to happen. Anyone that's still on this leg, they're going to back up. But what we did as soon as this patrol came through, and I think it was only like 5 vehicles on that patrol, when they get up to this point here, this guy signals to the driver. He has the vehicle running. He has it in gear. His foot's on the pedal. As soon as the vehicle's right in front of him, he would stomp on the gas, nail the vehicle up in here, teabag him right in here, T-bone him there. The other vehicles are still coming up, got a little bit of spacing, but when you get into close terrain like this, it's not uncommon that vehicles close in. So as soon as they were in the kill zone here, I think we had like 3 vehicles inside this section alone when we initiated the ambush, with the other 2 down this way. We all opened up in here. You start pouring fire on the people that are up in the turrets. If they had windows open, you start shooting them through the windows. You know, tossing down the grenade simulators and homemade IEDs, which in our case were smoke grenades for simulating. Tossing the smoke grenades down underneath the vehicles, onto the hoods, whatever, setting them off, showing that they got hit. Not fully an annihilation ambush because not everyone was in there, but everyone that was up in front here, they got messed up pretty bad. And in order to get past this point, they're going to have to clear out that wreckage. But we go through, we took them all out. In our case, because it was Op 4, the OCs, the observer controllers, called Index, because we had taken out well over half their force, and then we did our AAR. If you were doing this in real life, cause damage, try to damage these vehicles back here, maybe come into, again, having some type of anti-tank weapon available over here too, which would make you think of the 3-man hunter-killer team tactics. Person with an RPG, person with a scope, one with a machine gun covering this leg down here. Once you get, you accomplish your specific goals for this ambush, you fall back. That truck that's T-boned up into here, it's a loss. Set it on fire so they don't get any intel from it. You pull out, get back to your rally point, make sure you account for everyone, account for your gear and so forth, and then you would pull out of the area. If you would actually wipe the enemy out in here, well, give the signal, people come down, whichever way is the easiest for us. This was more of a drop off here. We had to come down through the back and then come down the goat trail to get up into here. The ones that were over here, same thing, they had to back up this way and then come down, where it wasn't as steep. But this is another variation, another little tactic you can do for ambushes. There's no one set technique for doing an ambush. You can put in tons of different variations. Always keep your enemy guessing and use what you have available. Remember to use the terrain to your advantage. If you're the ambusher, you get to choose where the ambush happens, not your target. So situate it in a place where they're at the most disadvantage, but try not to do it in a spot where it's really obvious, where they expect they're going to get hit at. So change it up. Now, for all my engineer brothers and the Patriot militia movements, always remember, essayons.